This webinar will enable you for giving a small presentation to how use Bluemix for the hackathon and how Bluemix could be helpful for develop your project quickly. Before start, I will give you a small introduction of who I am. I'm Stefanos Banchi. I'm an architectural advisor of the Bluemix European team based in Dublin. I have almost 10 years of experience as a solution developer and project manager. The languages and the platform where I have worked deeply are Java, J2E, and C# for the .NET framework. But I like so much work on Bluemix because it gives me the chance for working in a lot of languages, programming languages, and a lot of type of platform, from mobile until the backend services and so on. Let's take a quick look at the agenda of the webinar of today. I will show you the catalog in Bluemix where you can choose the runtime and the services to host. And then I will show you a quick demo, a small Java web app, how to create and push it on Bluemix. And then I will scale on our small demo project using a database management system services. And then I will show you the sys environment VCAP services. It's very important you for get all the grants and the parameter for connecting to all the services that are hosted in Bluemix. Then I will take to you a quick look of the DB2 web interface of the database management system that we will bind. And then at the end I will talk about the Unicredit API that you will be able to use at the hackathon. So this is a quick overview for the technology that I will show you. Java plus DB2, and all the services that are hosted on Bluemix are used to be accessible via REST API. Plus the API, the specific API Unicredit that you will be able to utilize will be accessible via REST or via jar client that you can directly import into your Java project if you choose Java as a platform. But if you use other platform like, for example, PHP, Python, Node.js, and so on, you can always call the REST API of Unicredit. So I will show you the Bluemix Console. This is the Bluemix Console. The consoles that are available are for the endpoint on Bluemix are based in one in the US and another one in UK. This is the Europe one. I will show my demo on the UK one. From the top right, you can access your account. The account is based on the account is attached to an organization that corresponds to your account. Plus, in each organization, you can invite the other people of your team for work, and you can create inside your organization once or more space. The space can be figured as environment of work, developing, production, and testing. But this is the standard configuration. But for you that will join the Unicredit Appathon, you will be invited to a special organization, and each of your team will have one space for work in this special organization. And you can decide working on your organization, on the special organization one, when it's important for Unicredit having all the teams already with all the numbers of the teams. Then on top you have the menu. This is the dashboard that will present to you the first time that you will join the platform. In the pricing and doc section, you have all the documentation for each services, and in the catalog one is a very important section where you can browse all the services that are available on Bluemix, and you can choose which runtime host: Java, Node.js, Go, PHP, Python, Ruby, or other runtimes from the community. Then I will show you better later during the pushing time for don't having downtime, and so I will start to create a small Java app. There we are. I will create a space. We'll call it webinar. And inside of our space, I will create an app. First, you can choose mobile backend or web app. I will choose web app and Java. I will give a name to the app. Once you created the app, you will receive a list of steps that you can follow for downloading first the Cloud Foundry command line interface. That is the interface from command line that you can download on your laptop, on your PC, and then you can use it for talking, and it acts as an interface for talking from your local environment and the Bluemix public platform. I've already did that. So if I open a CMD, if I just type CF, I will get all the help for the command that I can use. Then, following the steps, I have to go in my working directory. But before, I have to download the starter code. The starter code is the skeleton of the app that is created, and I can open it. I will put it on my temporary folder. You can just extract zip, and inside there is the source code of the small app that is created as a skeleton from the Bluemix platform. You can have a .project file too, so you can use that for open and import on your preferred IDE. This works for Eclipse, and that is another thing that I already did. I've imported the project on Eclipse. So that's the project, Webinar Java. But as exposed on the top, there is the three main way for working and pushing app from your local environment and Bluemix. Once, download your zip on your local environment, and you can edit it with whichever text editor, and then use the command line interface for pushing your modified app. Second, you can import it on Bluemix, on Eclipse, or you can import in other IDE for development, but the standard way is Eclipse, that you can always, for the Java environment, you already had the .project file. Or third, you can host it on GitHub and then download on your laptop and configure the DevOps services for in the way that each commit that you do you can schedule and configure the steps of continuous delivery and continuous integration, and automatically your app is published on Bluemix on the specific environment of Bluemix that you have to specify on the life cycle of development, and is reported directly on the public one. So let's show the app that I've created is already here. This is the standard app that says just hi world. This is a standard one that just says hi world, and it's the one that I've imported on my Eclipse environment. As you can see here, it's based on a static HTML file that say thanks for creating. Let's take a small change. I will just type hello teams of, and then another small change in the backend. This backend is simply based on a servlet that say hi world, and the string returned from here is directly advertised here. So I will change it to just saying hello. So what I did is just a small front-end mod and a small back-end mod. Third, what I have to do is compile, and you can find there is the Build Xml file. So I will run it on Ant, because it will create my Word file. That is the ones compiled that I will ship and push on Bluemix. A very important file that you find in the skeleton of your app is this one, the manifest YML, because it gives to the public platform a lot of information about our app. This quote the number of instances and the memory of the runtime to start. The host is the piece of the URL that is attached in front of the domain, and the name of the app. As you can see here, my app is published on webinarjava.eu.-gb.mybluemix.net, and it corresponds to the directive that you can find in the manifest YML. And the third, the name of the word that is written in the path. So I have already compiled. This is successful. So let's back to the step of the overview. Third, going to my working directory. My working directory is the same of my workspace, so I can copy and paste from here. Then with the CF API command, I will point the endpoint of UK, the European one, but you can use the US console or the Australian is pretty new, so I suggest you to use the UK one or the US two. Third, I will log in on the platform. I will say type cf login use, that is my username, minus o, that is my organization that corresponds to my username, minus s, webinar is the space where I will work on. You will have a specific user with a specific organization related with Unicredit and your specific space. Now I'm logged in. What I can do now is just to type cf push, and it will the cf push will scan my current directory, searching the manifest YML, and will use it for host the app on the public platform. Before doing that, I would like to do another things. I've prepared a small snippet, so I will back to my standard servlet. I will build again. Okay, and now I will push my app modified. So during the push time, what I still doing now is just a small still simply doing some modification to the app, and I will ship again on the Bluemix public platform. So during the pushing time, I will show you, as I said before, the catalog. That's the catalog of Bluemix. In the runtime, you can choose your preferred runtime and programming language. You can use, as I've said, and as I still doing, Java. Java for Liberty is a light wave of WebSphere. Node.js, Go, PHP, Python, or Ruby. You can use whichever language you prefer, where you have more confidence. If you use Java, you can direct, as I said, import it on Eclipse. But if you use PHP, you can use other IDE. And if you use Node.js, you can, for example, import that in Node Eclipse with the plugins for Node.js. Plus the other services that are in the Bluemix public platform are the Watson. This is all the services related with this with the predictive and cognitive environment. For example, speech to text or text to speech, or visual recognition that bring you the chance for recognize some picture directly. The mobile section is related with all the backend mobile services that you can host on Bluemix. For example, push services, mobile quality answers that give you the chance for gathering feedback automatically from your customer that are using your app, or mobile data is a light data environment, or mobile quality application security that is a service related with the security and the access of the app. For the mobile, we have to talk about, as I showed before, once you create an app, you have to choose from mobile and web. If you choose mobile, you are presented in a small interface that gives you the chance for download the SDK for the client, because you will host on Bluemix the backend service, and for accessing your backend services for mobile, you can use from client side an SDK. The SDK that is specific, for example, from Android, from iOS, or from hybrid technology like Aptana Cordova, or mobile first platform, that is the hybrid mobile platform from IBM. On the DevOps section, you have all the services related with the continuous delivering and continuous development and deployment. which you can create your, for example, with the delivery pipeline, and automatically build the way and the delivery with from your repository on GitHub. In the web app application, you have all the services related with the pure web backend. For example, MQ Lite is the MQ queue, and session cache is related with the system of caching. Workflow is related for creating a workflow web app. The integration, maybe you will not use this section for the Appathon because it's related for create a tunneling, a system of tunneling from your public app delivered on Bluemix, and for example a specific database that you want to retain on your own premises. And data analytics is an important section where you can find all the database management system. From SQL database, there is a light wave of DB2, and plus you can find the NoSQL. This is a SQL database, is a typical relational database, but you can find NoSQL database too, like Cloudant, for example, or other service related with analytics. Inside of Twitter is a nice service that give you the chance for querying and find on the Twitter repository and count and find all the tweeters that are made from the people. That's very nice. In the security section, you have the service related for the control of access of your application, for example, single sign-on. Business analytics are more specific for data warehousing, and the Internet of Things section is a powerful section where you can find the Internet of Things, the IoT Cloud Foundation from IBM that is very useful for attach your app published on Bluemix with some smart device that you can configure on that, and you can let talk with your app via MQTT. Okay, let's see if our push is already finished. So let's see if the app is modified. From iWord, now it writes hello teams of the Unicredit Appathon. So that is what I wrote in the backend, in the servlet of our app. Plus, I wrote here some line of for logging, and if we back to the command line interface, typing cf logs and the name of our app, this webinar Java, I will get it on tail. So if I refresh the app, I can show some line of logs. This is what I wrote before. One line of out, one of info, warning, and error log. That's what it is. So let's scale a little bit with this app. Another thing that I want to do, back into the overview. Here you are you have exposed the memory quota and the instance that are up and running of your app. It is the same that I have specified on the manifest YML, one instance of 512 megabyte. So what I want to do now is adding database services. So I will click on add, then SQL database. My space is webinar, my app is webinar Java. I will give a custom name, SQL DB. You can leave the default one if you want. So then we wait the app will be restaged because once I will show you another section of the catalog that are the boilerplates. The boilerplates are the starter kit that you can use, that where you can find one runtime plus one or more than one services already cooked for you, and first you can start directly to use it. For example, Java Cloud Web Starter is a Java runtime plus a Cloud DB services, NoSQL. Java DB Web Starter is quite similar to the app that's still presenting now. It is a Java runtime plus a SQL DB2 database, but it used the JPA connection system. Despite I still using, I will show you later, I will connect directly by source code. Loopback Starter is a nice way for using the loopback framework and Node.js runtime. Maybe it will be very useful for publishing your own REST API. Mobile Cloud is an already ready boilerplate that will publish on Bluemix and Node.js backend plus some services for the mobile backend and so on. I will take a note of this one. Node-RED Starter is very helpful for it will publish on Bluemix a Node.js runtime plus an app with inside the Node-RED framework that could be very useful for using from the IoT Cloud Foundation services for managing the workflow of the information from your smart device attached via the IoT Cloud Foundation system and your app, and maybe your own database too. So it's a very useful one. So during the restage process, I will move to my app. I've created inside our app another servlet. Was hello resource was the default servlet. I've created another servlet called test. Oh, at the moment is off, so I've prepared a small snippet to attach. So I will just copy and paste my snippet. What I did in this small snippet is easy. I will attach to this environment bookup services that has the grant and all the information for attaching to my service. I will parse it and I will extract the database, the name of my database, the port, the user and the password to utilize, and I will use it for connect to the database. Then once connected to the database here, I will connect to the database using all the information parsed from the bookup services in this environment, TSEMB. Once I will connect to the database, I will do some simple SQL statement, creating a table, persons, doing some insert on the table, and doing one select. Easy. Let's back to the platform. Okay, the app is restaged. My app is restaged with the SQL database services. As you can see here, you can check the credentials, and in the section environment variables, you can see the custom backup services bar with the credential that I will parse for connecting to the database. Plus, here, if you want, you can define your own environment variables. As you can see, it could be very helpful for you if, for example, you have your own app in the space of development, and you can maybe use it attach it to a specific database for development. You can use your own laptop attached to the database of development. Plus, you can promote and create other apps in other spaces. Comparing with your environment, you can have the app of test with the database of test, the app of production with the database of production. It could be very useful for you having three or more than three environment, for one for developing, one for testing, one for production, each of them with the specific database. And you just need to parse the environment variables. They are transparently attached on the same environment that you want. And it maybe could be useful for an enterprise works. Maybe during the Appathon you will not use that, because you will have just one space and you will go directly for creating a POC, not maybe a real app on production. But it's useful to know for the future scale of your project maybe. So my app is up and running. What I have to do now, I have created the snippet. I will compile with Ant. I'm still not launching locally my app, but because just for doing it quickly. But once for developing, it's obviously normal to launch and debug locally our app. And another thing that I did is importing and editing the Build Xml file for the utilization of some special jar for attaching to the DB2 platform. Because if we take a look here, and then I will push again. So during the app is restaged, I will talk to you. As you said, here in the test survey that I did, I use some specific library of IBM and DB2, other from IBM NoSQL JSON and so on. And locally, I've imported that inside the webinf lib directory, but in the Build XML file, I've referenced this jar because it will be inserted inside the Word file that I will ship on Bluemix. And it's very important, for example, if you plan to use the jar file for the API Unicredit, for example, it is a small app. As it's doing the same utilization of the SDK of Unicredit, you will receive this SDK, then you can use it from Java if you want, importing on your Java project, or if you want, you can call directly the REST API. And so if you plan using it on Java, you have to modify. This is the jar SDK Unicredit API. You need to modify your Build XML with the line for referring the SDK of Unicredit API jar. But I will show you better later. So the push is finished. Let's see if the app is on. That's my app. Move to test. Test is the name of my servlet. It works. As I print on the standard output, I'm still parsing the sys environment, backup service, extract the credential, directory that I will use to connect to the database. Here I print host, port, name and password. That's the URL of the database using JDBC. Then I connect to the database and execute some SQL statement. One for creating the table, three for inserting some data, and then a select. If I call it more than once, obviously the create of the table will fail because the table is already created, but the insert will work, and I will receive uh, more results from the select. So backing to the overview, could be nice showing, for example, tables. Person is my tables, browsing data. You can see here all the data that I have inserted before. And that is the result of the SQL select that I did from the database. That's all. So back into the overview. Another thing that I want to show to you is, as I say before, for example, here I did a small app calling some class provided from the SDK of Unicredit API. You can use this jar importing on your, as I showed you, as I showed before, important that on your project, modifying your Build Xml, and then you can use the class provided from the Unicredit SDK. And for example, here I just connecting using the API client class. I set some parameter, the base path and the API key that you have to create for you to utilize that. And then I get some information related with the bank accounts. At the moment it's not activated, so I can show you now. And this is just one way for use that. Another way is you will receive a full documentation related with the API, so you can study it before the Appathon. And for example, in the section account, you can call the REST API, the REST web services via directly via the REST URL. Or, for example, as I showed before, here you can find an example for how to call the API via Java. And for doing that, you need to import the jar that will be provided to you in your own project. So that was a quick overview of Bluemix, how Bluemix can help you to deliver quickly. If there are someone that has some question, you can ask some question just raising the hand or type in the question box. Or if you prefer, you can take note of my contacts details. You can write an email to me, and I will be very pleased to answer to all of you with any queries. Okay, saying that, that's all. I hope that my session would be helpful for you for your success on the hackathon, and I think we will meet in Milan if you will join the Milan hackathon, the Italy one, because I come from Italy, so we'll join the Milan one, and if not, I wish you my best luck for the hackathon, and you can back to me with whichever question you have by email. Thanks a lot, guys. See you and enjoy.